Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good wherever you are. I'm JP here with Brizy, and we are going to talk about Brizy Cloud and the membership functionality that is included with Brizy Cloud. This is something that we've seen on the forum, a lot of questions about it. So let's dig into this, look at how you set it up, what it does for you, and then try and understand how you can actually use it. I think right off the bat, let me say what you can use it for. This is a great way for added value and getting leads. So you can set up a website and then you can have a section that will offer more if people subscribe or become a member. With this, you have people that sign up for free. There is no payment gateway in this. And I say that, like I said, off the bat. But what you do get is that interaction and that lead generation. But let's look at it from the beginning to the end. And I think by the end, you will probably have some idea whether this will be useful to you or not. Going to take this from the very beginning. So let's create a new project, and then I go to website and landing page, and I start from scratch. I could have started with a template because I'm going to bring in a page anyway, but let's do it this way. Working with memberships or setting up memberships is not always a very linear approach. So bear with me through the video as I introduce you to the different aspects. Start building your page, and I'm going to bring in a layout. As I said, I probably could have done this. Let's go to one pager, and let's grab this one here, Clenors, and replace global styling. Yes, import this layout. The first indication of an area that is connected to this membership functionality you will find here within the elements. I'll go to the elements on the right and then scroll down to content, and you will see here is an element called login. This one is how you start up your membership. And I'm going to start here, and then we'll come back again later to how it can be done in different ways as well. But let's start here. What I want to do is to create an area on my page where people can log into their account. And before they can log into account, they need to register. So though this element says login, you will soon find out it has numerous functionalities built into it. Let's drag this onto the page so at a minimum you can see what we have here. Oh, pretty big. That's not going to look nice, but you can see here we have the element. It says login, and this is very familiar. An email and a password. Remember me, lost your password, and register. The settings you access here in the top right corner, and then you go to the left where you will see we have a type, login, authorized, register, and forgot password. Let's stick to this. The first thing you have to consider from a design point of view is that when you have a login area on your page, you don't see websites where it just stand like this. You either have a login page, or what I would recommend is that you have a button with a login that creates a pop-up, and that's what we're going to do. Again, just a quick warning, if you've never worked with this, you may feel like we're falling off the horse a number of times, but just hold on, you'll see where we get to. Let's delete this. And I'm going to create this button up here as my login link. I'll double click to select it and I'll type in login, so it means login. Then I'll go to my link option and select pop-up, and naturally this is Brizy Cloud Pro. Select pop-up and I'll create one from scratch. Actually, you will also find that there are some demos for sign up and logins, but I'm going to do this from scratch so that you understand exactly what's going on. Select it again to enter the pop-up builder. What I'll do is I'll right-click on one of these columns and select delete. Then click in the middle. We go to our add elements, and I will find the login element and drag it in here. I'm not going to style too much here. Let me just change the color of this little close button. We have email, we have the password. And what is important is that with this login function, you will see that there is an option here of the element that says register. The reason I say that is that you may be tempted to go here and put it on register. You can go ahead and put it on register, and then you will see you have the whole registration happening here with some options. But let's stick it to login for now and use this feature as if I'm a new person coming to the site and I want to log in or register. Now that I've done that, let's leave it like so. Go to the bottom. It's currently set to save draft. I want to publish this page so we can work with it. And then I'll click on go back. Now we have this. Well, let's go to the button and say login/register. Brilliant. Save it, update, preview it, select preview, go to the button, select it, and there we have the login. We haven't created an account yet, so we cannot log in. We don't have a password. So we select register, and lo and behold, that form that we saw appears now. So I can go ahead and register. What I want to do instead is to copy this URL and then just open Edge. So we have a little bit of what is the front end and what is the back end. So I'll open Edge here. I'll paste that. And from here, I will go into login register. I'll select register, and then I will quickly register here. My email address, username, phone number, password. I always screw up password. Okay, and say register. Beautifully. And actually, at this moment, I'm logged in, even though you won't know that you are logged in, but by registering, you are automatically logged in. Now, this is extremely underwhelming and confusing. Okay, so I registered, so what now? This is just the very first step we are doing. So Edge is going to be our front end, and then we hop back into Chrome so we can see what's happening in our builder. I'll close this one so we don't get confused. Within the builder, if you go to the CMS area by clicking on these three little lines in the top left corner, within this sidebar, you will see we have pages, posts, stories, pop-ups and alerts, and then users. Do not confuse these users with the members of your project. When you are in the dashboard within Brizy Cloud, you can assign to that workspace team members. Those are people that will have access to that workspace, who can enter the site, the projects, editors, etc. This one here, users, has got nothing to do with that. These are the users that are connected to the membership. This is more or less your visitors. Maybe we could have said members instead here of users. Select by clicking on it. It has two categories, all users and roles. And look at that, under all users, there is my registration already locked. I can click on my name, and from here you can see those fields. Now, currently you cannot add more fields here, but note that we also have this section here called roles. And the roles field comes later into play when you start creating membership blocks. You have a translate and a code, probably not going to be of importance. And then again in the sidebar, all users and then roles. No role currently, we'll bring that again in later. Great, so understand that whenever somebody registers, you're going to find them over here in your CMS, in the sidebar, under users, and then they will appear here. Here you can edit them or you can remove them. So whoop-de-doo, what do we do with this? Let's close this and on a very quick touch basis, understand what this can mean for you. So, I have now subscribed to your website. And what you have on your website is perhaps some videos or information that you will reward people with when they come and become a member of your site. And this way, you are collecting leads. And a lead is the email address. You want their email addresses so you can send them promotional stuff. And in return, you give them other stuff that they cannot get if they just visit your site. This is perfect for people who are doing coaching, for businesses who want to provide additional information and they want to build up a client list. Then you do this, you put it behind that membership wall. So right here, I'm going to just bring in a block. I'm pretty sure there. I'm going to bring in a block and I'll bring in a text and I'll call this membership only as an example. And I'll put it just quickly on H1 so we can see it very clearly. And let's center it also. Now I go to the block settings all the way to the left. And here we will find, second from the top, the option for membership. So quick recap. The login element that we brought in earlier and that we created this pop-up with. Over here, the users, all users and me who are registered. And this part here, in a block where you see membership, they all work together. These things cannot work separately. If you want the membership block, you have to have users, you have to have registration and login. They all work together. What I'll do is I will activate membership. This is step 1. Step 2 is, who do I want to show this block to? And the answer is, I only want to show it to my members. Go to show to, and you will see we have the option to log or not logged. When you are logged, that's mean a person who has signed in, and that is the member who has registered and now they signed in. So I only want to show this block with all the information it has to my members. There can be an awesome video in here. There can be a PDF that they can download. That's what we're going to put here. In fact, isn't it annoying when people tell you this is what you can do and they don't show you? So let me not be that person. Let's bring in a column and I'll add a video in this one, video over here. And then we can, let's say this is the strongest line, Pride and Luanga. This is the video that they're going to have access to, but you can also make it your motivational video. And over here, you can make a download, but let's bring in a button for that, button. And then in the button, you go to your file and you can upload anything. I'm going to upload this image so that they can work this image and they can download. Let's change this to download image. Download image. And this is only going to be available for people who sign up as a member. You can call it perks. You can call it whatever you want. You don't always have to use the word membership. People get nervous maybe. They think they have to pay something. Supporters or fans, All right. Note that the moment I turn this block into a membership block, we have this little icon at the top right of the block with a profile icon in showing us that this is now a membership block. And we've set it to show to people who are logged in. If you're not logged in, if you haven't signed up, you're not going to see this. Let's put it to the test. I will say update. And let's preview it. And this is the preview. Not logged in, so you don't see it. Now I'm going to jump to Edge. Now remember, I signed up earlier here. When you sign up, you are also automatically logged in. So what I'll do is I'll refresh this page. And there we go. We see this membership only page. And that is the membership functionality in short. But now we have to go in here and smoothen a few things because now that I'm logged in, up here, this button still says login and register. To bring in that correct design and aesthetics, we're going to work a little bit with all of those conditions. And that brings us back into the builder. Let's close this one. And what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and duplicate this block. That's the first thing I'm going to do. The first block that says login and register, I'm going to show this one. So I'll go to the block settings. I'll select membership. And then I will say for people that are not logged. So when you're not logged in, you will see login or register. This one, I'm going to change. The first thing I'll do is I will delete this button. Then I will go to the add elements, go down to my content and look for the login element, click, hold and drag and drop it. It gives us the login form. But remember, I told you there are options there. So select the login and then go to type. And there is this option that says authorize. Authorize, select it and you'll see what it does. It will give a name like John Doe, and in my case, it will be JP and my surname, and then log out. You can also see if you go to the settings, type advanced, you can also remove the full name. So now it will only say log out, and that allows you, as a person who has signed in, to log out. This one, I only want to show when people are logged in. So I go to the block settings, I go to membership, I activate it, and I select log. I hope you have an idea of what I just did. Let's update this page. And then we go back to Edge. So what are we going to see now? The moment I refresh this page, remember I'm logged in. This header is going to go away. And the second header that I've created that says logout should appear. Let's do that. I always do a CYA when I say should appear because you never know in the world of website design. But true as Bob, there is my logout. Now I've set it up like it should work for a membership site. So let's do this entire cycle again. We can click here now on logout. And what is going to happen when I click on logout? I'm going to get header, the first header, and this membership only area is going to disappear. So let's select logout. And there we are back to how the page will look to someone who's not logged in. Then I can click on login and register. If I haven't registered, I can select register. If I have, like in my case, I can just sign in. I do realize I typed in the wrong email address. I'll fix that. So I log in. There we go. Not now, thank you. And we have this membership functionality again. This way you can go ahead and set up a page that's going to be there for people who are logged in and for people who are not logged in. And when you are working with such a setup, you often have a lot of promotions, you have call to actions for people who have not signed up. You will have, click here or buy this, or you have pop-ups that will appear for them. The moment people log in, you're going to remove that. Those who have been so kind to sign up to your awesome website, you don't want to bother them with call to actions all the time. They've already bought into it, right? So those are the things that you're going to say, let's not show it for logged in people. So that will be the reverse of what we have achieved here. This is where you have to sit down and think, how will this benefit your business? Will not recommend that you just say, I need a membership site. I need something like this. You really need to have a product that will reward people. That's why I said coaching. I think of many people that I know that do yoga and things from their homes. They want to attract people to their site, but you also want to be able to engage with them either through a newsletter or offer them some promotions. Then this is a great way. Put all those videos that you normally would do for free, put it behind your membership wall and do this. Now, let's talk about a few more things that you can do here. And the first one is that you can add users manually. Let's go to the CMS. We go to our users, click on all users, and you see here at the bottom, you can click on add new user. So this one I can call JP2. The reason I can do this is previously I entered the wrong email address for the other one, and I can add a phone number here if I want to. Now let's talk about the roles as well. Currently, if I click here on that, it says no roles added, so I want to create a new role. And roles you can assign to your members, and then you can restrict those membership blocks also according to the roles. So if you have some kind of super fan, we can call them tier 1, and then you have others that don't contribute that much, maybe from your Patreon account or however you're going to set up. Remember this, you will have to do manually. What I'll do is I can say add new role, and I'll call this one tier 1. Once I've done that, I click on the plus. And now to assign the role, you still have to click here on tier 1 and you will see it appears there. So we can select add user. This is one way you can add roles. You can go to the sidebar on the left, select roles, and you can add the roles here. Nothing much here. You're not going to have the world of fields and stuff. I'll just call this one tier 2. And the only purpose of these roles are that you can differentiate at the block level who can access them. So this guy we just added, JP2, is now, according to us, a tier 1 person. And if we go to JP1, I'm going to assign him as a tier 2. One is prepared to pay, the other one a little bit stingy. And now we have these two tiers. For this one, membership only, I will call this a tier all. I will show this to all of my members, but then I will have other content in the next block. I will duplicate this one, and I will call this only for tier 1 subscribers. Remember, this one, the first one, is set to everyone that's logged in. That's all the tiers. It's going to include them automatically. This one, though, if I go, I only want to show this to people who are tier 1. Now, when I click on show to you, you're going to see, hey, the tier 1, the tier 2, they're not here. And the reason they're not here is because we need to refresh this page. So first thing I will do is save, Control Command S, and then we can just reload with the Control R, Command R, and then we will be able to look at those new roles that we've created. Let's go to the tier 1, all the way to the left, show to, and there's tier 1, tier 2. Don't just click on tier 1 and call it a day. You need to also deselect the logged. Otherwise, people who are tier 1 and everyone that is logged in is going to see it, which means everyone. In this case, you only want tier 1. Let's update and zoom on over here to our edge. Refresh. Now, let's think quickly. This is JP1 logged in, right? JP1. If we go to our back end, under users, we go to JP1. I am a tier 2. Okay, so I'm not that important. So what's going to happen when I refresh this one? Let's do that. I am not going to see the tier 1 block. I hope. I'm going to see only tier all. Let's log out so that JP tier 2 can sign in. Now you just need to go back and remember JP tier 2 or JP2, which is tier 1. I'm confusing us all around here. I added him manually, but he doesn't have a password. When you add someone manually, it will send them an email notification. Let's test this. I'll open my Outlook and I'll go to my W4B. And within my feed, here at the top, it says no reply at brizy.cloud. I select it and it says you are receiving this message because you recently signed up for an account on our website. You can log in using the following password. The password chosen when setting up the account. I haven't set up anything, right? That is a problem because I don't have a password. So what do? This is why you probably don't want to add people manually. If you do add people manually, maybe it's your team or yourself so that you can also see what's going on within that website. In this event though, let's go back to Edge. I'll go to login register and all you need to say is lost your password. And that's how you're going to generate a new password. I'll add my email address here. Get new password. It was sent successfully. And immediately it pops up here, your password reset link. And then I'll click on the reset link. There's the reset password. And I can reset password from here. How do I turn this off? Never save for this site. Okay, great. Now I jump back to my login. So back to login and I add my email. IO. _4. Go and login. And remember, now I should see tier all plus tier 1. I thought I said never for this site. A lot of control you have here. And I'm thinking here, often we think of people who are visitors to your site, but often a website is also an information database for a team. And you can set up a website for your team and you can restrict certain data or certain access to certain members of that team. That's how you can take even more control over how you share certain things with your team. I often do it when I have websites where in the past I would send people a whole folder with files or information. I just quickly put them all in a website, use a little bit of bling and sparkles and fairy dust, and then I send that to people. This way I can also give people a tier level, a role which they can have. They can access certain parts and another person can access other parts. This is for you to decide. And what you have here is everything that it's all about. The last thing we can look at is that login element. I'll scroll to the bottom. Let's work with a new block so we can have a nice background. And we go to our elements, grab the login element and drag it in. There are a few features here. By default, when you bring in the login element on the left, you will see it is set to login. Note there's always an advanced option. You can disable some of this. If you don't want the remember me there, you can remove that. If you don't want the lost password or the register, I would think in most cases, you probably want to keep these guys up. Like I recommended, this login, you either create it on a new page so that when people click on the button for login, it will redirect them to that page or create a pop-up like we had done in this video. Right, so go back to type, and this was our login. We talked about authorized, and the authorized had two options, full name with the logout option or just logout. Yeah, it called authorized. Maybe I would call it rather, logout. Then you have a total register area. If you just want a registration form and you want to give people the option to register, and this will be again a page, I would say, for a registration. Sign up with a registration, they sign up, and then redirect link. And this page I will also put behind the membership block. And I will say it only shows to people who are not logged in. So once you have your users that are logged in, they will not see this register options anymore because they are logged in. Again, you will see here, you can already assign default roles from here. You can assign them to tier 1, automatically give them that role. Pretty neat. And then you have the advanced options, so you don't have to collect all of this if you don't want to. For example, if it's your team, you don't want them to give you a phone number. I'm not a big fan of a username. Maybe you can have the username there. And this way, you can set up this part of the form. And the last one is one called Forgot Password that you can add again as a link or a button. All of this brings you to creating that wall behind which you can add content which people can only access if they have signed up and they are a user on your site. With that, you can combine this with custom assets, create blogging, dynamic content, and really broaden how much you can offer these people in terms of a unique experience. What I've shown you here is what the membership functionality currently can do. I know there are people saying, can I have specific elements with the membership level? The answer is not at this moment, no. Currently, the membership functionality is set at a block level. It's also not set at a page level. For that, I highly recommend, if you are interested in using this feature and you start using it, see where you feel it needs improvement, where are the shortcomings. And once you have that and you feel like, hey, this thing can work wonders, hop on over. Let me go back here. I'm on Chrome. I'm getting confused between Chrome and Edge. Let's go to Brizy.io. And then here on Brizy.io, you can go to resources and then this option, suggest ideas. I really encourage you that if there's something that you think needs improvement, you use this platform, not the Facebook community, not the comments below, because this is the one hub to rule them all when it comes to your ideas, future requests. And this way you can help make the product grow. Very quick, very basic, but fully rounded introduction to what membership can do for you within Brizy Cloud. Hope this was insightful and useful. Play around a little bit with it. I'll just say it again. Don't just bring in membership functionality because it is there. It really needs to fit your site and what you have to offer. But if you are into delivering a service, especially if you work from home in fields where it's one-on-one communication and instruction and coaching, this is a great way to get people to come to your site. From me, JB, keep it rolling. I'll see you in the next video.